Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. And today we have actually quite nice schedule. We have quite nice stuff to talk about. Potential more signings actually could be happening for Arsenal in general. We might sign some more players. We actually might do some things. Obviously, Calafiori is still not done and dusted, so it's not a great look, let's be real. To be honest, was expecting that the fact that he already would be doing his medicals. But we're gonna talk about Calafiori in a second as well a bit, because there are some advancements in talks, if you will, with Calafiori, of course. There's about Merino we're gonna talk. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Edu Nketiah. We're gonna talk also about Mikel Arteta, who has been conducting another interview while being in the USA. Obviously, in 2 days, I think it is on Thursday, we play against Bournemouth. So that will be very interesting to see what kind of 11 he puts out, because genuinely we have quite shocking squad. We have taken quite shocking squad to our preseason tour, given the due to Euros, Copa America, and all that stuff. Our main guys, pretty much all of them, are out for basically relaxation and vacation. Besides, I think there's Ben White, there is Martin Odegaard, there is Trossard, and maybe a few more. But overall, most of our players are on vacation. Some of them will join during the USA tour, but some of them will be joining afterwards. We're going to talk about that as well, what Mikel Arteta was talking about transfers and on players that are not joining them during USA tour. So we have quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So, of course, as always, don't forget to like. Helps a lot, helps the algorithm, sharing, and it goes all over the place, basically, like YouTube works. Don't forget to interact in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, the discussions, questions, so we have some topics extra to talk about. And to be honest, without further ado, let's dig straight in, because there is some stuff, very interesting stuff, to be honest. And we are kicking things off with Mikel Merino. Basically, we're gonna go quite chronologically. We're gonna start at yesterday's evening and we're gonna move to today, because today there were some more breaking news. So basically, Merino believes that the football played by Arsenal fits perfectly with his style of play, and that leaving for London would be a giant step in his sporting career. Obviously, Mikel Merino used to play in Premier League. He was still young. It was about 7 years ago. He was only 21, 22 when he was at Newcastle. From Newcastle fans, it's quite mixed emotions, I'm not gonna lie, because some say he was decent, some say he was, well, bad in a way. It remains to be seen, but at the moment he's playing at Real Sociedad together with another Arsenal's target who we most likely won't sign, which is Zubimendi. And he arguably is in his prime of his career, you could say. So basically, we're gonna see, because he's at the moment 28 and he wants to move to a Champions League club. Obviously, Arsenal can't promise him and give him that, the Champions League. He's 28, so he actually isn't the profile Arteta usually goes for, the young players. But as this has been a circulating thing throughout this whole transfer window in general, it's the fact that Arsenal are looking to some more experienced, seasoned players who know how to win, who know how already to do things, who don't need nurturing, basically. And they are signing players to kind of bridge the gap between starting 11 and the subs, because Mikel Merino, he might start, let's be real, he might start, but if he doesn't start, he will come off the bench at times. And let's be real, signing Mikel Merino means that we, in that way, are bridging the gap between bench and starting 11, because the drop-off in previous seasons was insane. It was under Wenger, it was under Emery, and it was also under Mikel Arteta, and apparently Arsenal's focus is to kind of reduce the gap at the moment. So it will be very interesting to see. Very, very, very interesting to see how that develops. Big up, One Love, big up. Did you hear any coach in England who's going to be the coach for Jamaica football team? I actually haven't. I've heard some speculations about 5-6 people, and I'm not sure any of them actually will be. So I don't want to put anything out there, because I'd rather see Jamaica with a proper manager and not put something into existence and you get someone like Lampard or something. So genuinely I don't want to speak on it. Also, yesterday evening it dropped that Arsenal are the best placed sign singer. He's almost ruled out renewing with Sociedad and considers the Gunners his best destination. Arsenal has not yet submitted a formal offer for the player. Chelsea inquired, but that is remote possibility for him. Basically, possibility that he goes to Chelsea is pretty much non-existent in my opinion, because he said himself he wants to go to a club who is playing in Champions League. And as we all know, Chelsea are nowhere near the Champions League. So definitely Arsenal are in driving seat. There were reports also that Atletico Madrid are very, very heavily interested. But at the moment, they have hands full with trying to sign Dovbyk. They're gonna sign Dovbyk. They have agreed personal terms. They just need to agree with Giron the structure, how they're gonna play the 40 million euro release clauses, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not gonna lie. I would have liked to see maybe Arsenal get Dovbyk. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, because I strongly believe Arsenal need to sign a striker. Moving on, arguably the best news that dropped yesterday late night. Breaking: Olympique Marseille are now close to completing a deal for Edu Nketiah. The deal is expected to be a loan with obligation to buy. Personal terms have already been agreed between the player and the Marseille. It is close. L'Equipe. That's according to L'Equipe, basically. And that is the thing, and that is the big part in all of this, because for years everyone has been praying that Edu Nketiah gets sold, because he is nowhere good enough in that instance. Genuinely, nowhere good enough. Because he was our X-Factor substitution in Champions League against Bayern Munich when we needed to score a goal. And that just showed how unserious we are about situations. So, and Nketiah actually might be finally leaving. I cannot believe this. I'm kind of very happy about that. The fact that Nketiah actually might be leaving, I'm super ecstatic about that, because that means Arsenal actually might focus on signing a proper number 9. Unless Mikel Arteta somehow envisions maybe trying to play Martinelli or Trossard down the middle. That is the only worry for me with this. So it will be very interesting to see, or he will rotate Jesus and Havertz, and maybe rotate also Jesus with Saka, because Jesus actually for me is more of a winger than striker, so it all remains to see what's gonna happen in that department. But definitely there are the rumors about Edu Nketiah leaving are more and more stronger, and it looks like it actually is going to materialize in general. So that all remains to be seen what's gonna happen with that. But obviously these are yesterday's news. Today we have some fresher news. Yes, last night as well this dropped. Fotis Ioannidis is one step away to sign for Sporting Lisbon from Panathinaikos. Agreed personal terms for contract until 2029. And not gonna lie, I got a bit excited, because I genuinely thought that could mean Arsenal actually might go for Gyökeres to sign for that striker spot. Arsenal actually might get into the market and sign a striker, but it doesn't look that way, because I quote tweeted this tweet, and some Sporting fans responded to my tweet, and we talked about it, and it turns out they lost Paulinho, one of their strikers, and Ioannidis apparently is the replacement for Paulinho. So apparently they want to play alongside with him with Gyökeres, and by the looks of things there is no chance at the moment that Gyökeres actually might get sold. That kind of put a damper on things late night before I went to bed, but at the end of the day there was hope, and basically the hope was only because I want Arsenal to sign a striker, because that is arguably the biggest thing Arsenal need. Arsenal need a midfielder and Arsenal need a striker. Because the striker is I think the proper striker actually was the big difference why we lost Premier League last season, why we didn't win it. So definitely for me, we need a striker, but it looks like Arsenal won't do it. And as I always say about Arsenal, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it, unfortunately. Obviously, it dropped yesterday that he's getting closer, Merino, to Arsenal. Obviously, Mikel Arteta, according to reports, is looking to secure around 100 million in sales. Now the question is, who is he going to sell? Basically, Arsenal just signed Calafiori. We will almost have signed Calafiori. So if Mikel Arteta wants to secure 100 million in sales, in which instance that actually could be the case? So we could get about 30-35 for Emil Smith-Rowe if we sell him, because apparently Arteta doesn't want to sell Emil Smith-Rowe, despite the somewhat lies he told in January that he's gonna be a crucial place, he's gonna have a crucial role in the title race. But during that second part of the season, he played one proper game where he got man of the match against Luton, and then he mostly got some cameos for 15-20 minutes or even less during the games, and he didn't get some time to play at all. So that will be interesting. So about 30-35 for Emil Smith-Rowe. around 25-30 for Edu Nketiah, so that's already, well, unless it's a loan with the obligation to buy, so that actually might not count. Aaron Ramsdale for about 30-35, so that's, let's just say 70, and Reece Nelson for about 20-25. That actually gets close to 100 million. I'm actually kind of stunned that it actually might work. So all remains to be seen, because from what I understand from all these rumors, Arsenal is gonna sign Calafiori, then they actually might sign Merino, then they're gonna focus on sales, and then they're gonna go back into the market once again. So it's all weird. It's usually something like that. Arsenal sign few players, then they say they're gonna focus on sales, but afterwards we don't sign anyone. That is the big issue. I hope it's actually a different type of thing happening around then now. Coffee. Wow. Mikel Arteta also has had interviews in the USA, obviously talking about Calafiori, other signings, and here is what he had to say on if there's any updates on transfers, for example Calafiori and others. No, unfortunately not. Obviously we know there are certain positions that we want to improve and give the squad better resources, especially in terms of numbers where we are very short. For me, that is midfield. We need at least one more midfielder if Partey stays. If he goes, then we need two. We need a backup for Saka, and we need a number 9. So we need technically 4 more players, which is actually kind of mad if you think about it. You could argue that if Ramsdale goes, we need also a backup goalkeeper, so that's 5 players, so it's wild. We will try our best, but the main thing is to focus on... I actually don't want to read this, but main thing is to focus on falling in love with the players we have and make them better. This low-key sounds that Arsenal have no money and they won't sign anyone else. Come on, man. How can you be saying stuff like this, bro? In which universe does that make sense, genuinely? Falling in love with the players we have and making them better. That's like saying we are not gonna sign anyone, we're gonna try to develop players what we have. Yes, I'd rather get business done early. From day one, I'd have everyone, but that would be my choice. I don't know if a new signing could join USA Tour, so there's no guarantee Calafiori, even if he signs today, tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, he's gonna fly to the USA. Arguably, there's no point for Calafiori to fly to the USA if he signs, let's just say, Thursday or Friday, because we have only 2 games left, and he signs, then he flies, then he has the jet lag for a day maybe, or 2 even, and then basically there's 1 game when he hasn't trained properly and he has to fly back, so it might be actually more sense to leave him at UK and prepare for Emirates Cup and then for Premier League to start. There's still a lot of go in the window. Edu, the board, and everyone at the club are working hard. So as much as I'm used to Arteta being a waffler and everything, talking about everything that doesn't matter in a way, making no sense whatsoever half the time and everything, this actually for me reads that there is actually something going on. Because if there wasn't anything going on, there wouldn't be links with Merino. So concrete links with Merino, let's just say that in this instance. So all remains to see what's gonna happen, but I don't like this sentence. The focus to fall in love with the players we have. It's generally like Alicia Keys. I can't help by falling in love with you, with me, with you, and all that stuff. Genuinely, it's just... And at the end of the window, who is Arsenal gonna sign? No one, no one, no one. And all that stuff. So, at the end of the day, let's hope Arsenal can still sign about 2-3 players. Genuinely. Besides Calafiori, 2 more at least is needed. And I prefer midfielder and a forward. Because I don't think Arsenal is gonna sign a striker. So at least we need a winger and a midfielder. At least. Speaking of Tomiyasu, who picked up an injury, is not going to USA Tour with Arsenal. He's injured once again. Glasiasu back with it. Mikel Arteta spoke on it and said it's unbelievable. Because the kid works so hard. He had an incident in training this week, and we don't know yet the extent of that knee injury. But as a precaution, we kept him in England We'll see what happens. And this is not good, because this is not the first knee injury Arsenal players have suffered. And let's be real, Jesus has suffered 3 of those. I think Tomiyasu has had muscular calf injuries and now a knee injury. It's not looking good, because Tomiyasu overall, the injury proneness makes me want to sell him. Like, from inside, it's coming out right now. But overall, he is, in my opinion, a very decent squad player for rotation and everything, because he does what it says on the tin, basically, if that makes sense. He is not too flashy, he's not too extravagant. You tell him to defend, he will defend. You tell him to go forward, he will go forward. And he can slot pretty much everywhere across the back 4. So definitely that type of player. As much as the injury proneness kind of screws it all up, it's not a good thing to lose. Let's just say that. And here it is. As Arsenal are more heavy linked now with Mikel Merino, according to reports, Atletico Madrid are considering two main options as midfield targets. Mikel Merino, who is at the moment Arsenal allegedly are the frontrunners, and Conor Gallagher. Now, sign Conor Gallagher, leave Merino on loan, and we are happy chappy, because apparently Chelsea are open to selling Conor Gallagher. He can go there. He actually would fit with Diego Simeone quite nicely in that 4-4-2, I'm not gonna lie. Here it is. Something more. Arsenal have, that was July 3rd, so 20 days ago, it was reported. Arsenal have reached an agreement in principle with Calafiori for contract till 2029, 3.5 million euros per year. And now it's pretty much soon. Calafiori to Arsenal from Bologna for... Why 50 all of a sudden? Where does this come from? 50 million euros? That's weird, because it was said that it's about 42 million euros. Contract till 2029, same what? 500,000 bonuses. Bologna will also have 10%. Oh, 10% on the future sale, so 10% sell-on clause. That is a big one. I really wanted to know what are the sell-on clauses for signing Calafiori. I generally don't think it is actually 50 million. It's less than that. Genuinely, wait. Euro to pounds. Let's just go. Euro to pounds. 50 million euros are 42 million pounds. So basically that's about 37 plus 5 in that instance, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So that is good. That's actually kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. 42 million pounds, that's actually a decent deal. According to Gunner blog from The Athletic, the impending arrival Riccardo Calafiori that should happen this week. We are in Tuesday, but Calafiori should be signed, past medicals, done and dusted by this week. Is likely to precipitate some departures in defense. Arsenal would listen to offers for Jakub Kiwior and Alexander Zinchenko, plus Kieran Tierney is also highly likely to leave. Now, let's speak on these three people. Kiwior signed, we legit signed him season and a half ago and we are already looking to get rid of him? No. That just is bad deal of business unless we get like 35 million for him. Alexander Zinchenko, you can just go to a different club, whichever one you want, just don't be here by the end of the window. And Kieran Tierney, of all these three, is the one I actually want to keep. Genuinely, as much as it infuriates many Arsenal fans that he is injury prone, including myself, mind you, Zinchenko is actually more injury prone than Kieran Tierney based on stats and games played in those comparisons. Kieran Tierney is that old school defender who you actually can throw on and he actually could do the job. He loves to defend, he loves to overlap, he has decent pace still on him, he has a decent shot, he can cross the ball properly, which feels like half of our squad cannot do. Genuinely half the time. It feels like during games half of our squad doesn't know how to cross the ball. And Tierney can do it to some very nicely. Plus we have 6'4" Havertz up top, and Merino, if we sign him, he loves, compared to Xhaka loves to sit on the edge of the box. Merino is straight opposite. He likes to arrive late into the box, and that actually could be the reason why we are signing him. We need someone on that, because we usually have someone in a goalkeeper's box, then we have someone on the penalty spot. But many times we don't have a player at the edge of the box in general, on the D basically. And that is somewhere where Merino could be and arrive late as well. I think that's how Mikel Arteta sees this, in my opinion. But yeah, I would rather sell Zinchenko and Kivior and keep Kieran Tierney than actually sell Tierney and Zinchenko and keep Kivior. But that is just my subjective, that's my personal preference. So my selfish one. Let me know what you think down in comments in the chat below. Here it is. According also to Gunner Blog from The Athletic, Arsenal would like to strengthen in midfield and in the forward line, although additions in these areas might require departures first. Basically, what it's saying, Arsenal need to sell to buy. Which is very interesting because about 3 weeks ago there was some rumors flying around Arsenal have £200 million war chest. Huzzah! To sign players. So where's the war chest? If we have the chest, why are we not using it? Simple questions. Simple questions. Anyways, I generally believe Arsenal will sign a midfielder because the links to Merino are too strong to be fake. Forward one is a bit of an iffy one for me because it could go either way. Either we are going for Pedro Neto, either we are going for someone else, or we actually might dive in and try and actually sign a striker. Because for me personally, I much rather use Jesus rotationally as a backup for Bukayo Saka than a backup or rotation with Kai Havertz. And I buy a proper striker to play up top as a proper number 9 because that is something we're really missing. Genuinely, that is something we are missing more than ever, and we were missing that last season more than ever. Because if we actually had that proper number 9, there's no shadow of a doubt in my mind, we actually would have won the league. Because the chances we missed in the losses to Fulham, to the draw to the 10-man Fulham at home, to Aston Villa in the first half where we should have put the game to bed, where Trossard missed the chance, the 1-0 loss to Newcastle. In those games, we had quite a bit of chances, let's be real. And if we had a proper number 9, it fell to proper number 9. Not Havertz, not Jesus, not someone else. 100% at least I would say 20% to 30% of those chances would result in goals. And that basically would be the difference from us losing and drawing or winning and drawing. And that is the big thing. Because we lost the league by 2 points. That's basically one draw turned into a win. The draw against Fulham, if we won that game, we win the league. Genuinely. If we don't lose to Newcastle, but we score actually when we had to, we win the league. If we score against Aston Villa, not lose 2-0, we win the league. Those 2 times when we went 1-7 in December and when we lost 2-0 to Villa cost us the league. One of those games, we instead of drawing, we win the league because on goal difference we were better than City, and that was the end of it. We would have, at the moment, if that would have happened, we would have been singing completely different song in this transfer window about Mikel Arteta, about the team, and everything in general. But hey ho, here we are. Arteta said after the first season we finished second, we spread the goals around. Where Jesus scored 11, assisted 8. Martinelli had season of his life. Saka had incredible season. Odegaard had incredible season. Xhaka added goals and everything. We don't need a striker. Last season, January, interviews with Arteta. Oh, we cannot score. We don't have a striker and everything. So go and buy one then. You haven't replaced Aubameyang still, and it's been 4 bloody years. You signed a proper striker, and you won the league, arguably even these last 2 seasons when we finished second both times. Because that's what is missing from Arsenal. Those close games where we draw by tiny margins or we lose by tiny margins where we had that odd 1 or 2 chances. If we have a proper bagsman, the outcome 100% is completely different. We turn these losses into draws, we turn draws into wins, not to mention we actually could have turned some losses into wins. And that is the big issue with me. For Arsenal, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. And Arteta, in a way, is so stubborn in his ways, in certain ways of playing, that he actually doesn't want to admit that he is wrong. Because that's how it feels about goalkeeper situation. He came in, he sold Martinez to Aston Villa, And since then, Mikel Arteta has signed 9 different goalkeepers. In 4.5 years, 9 different goalkeepers. That's 2 goalkeepers per season. And not to mention the fact that if we need to sign another goalkeeper, to be honest, to have the second goalkeeper, arguably. So if we do that, Arteta in his tenure in 5 years at Arsenal will have signed 10 goalkeepers. 2 goalkeepers per year. Who does that? Who freaking does that? Not to mention we signed Runnerson for 2 million and we put him on 35 grand a week. And what did he do at Arsenal? Arguably the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen in Arsenal. Ever. And I've been an Arsenal fan for 23 years. Just deep it. Genuinely deep it to dissect certain signings and how they have performed for Arsenal. It's insane how they have performed, what wages they have been on, and how wasteful we have been with the money that actually Kroenkes have given to Mikel Arteta. Because Kroenkes have given to Arteta about 700 million, 800 million, something in those lines. And I could honestly say about half of that money has been wasted. Genuinely. Signing 10 goalkeepers, 65 defenders, and some of them are not even here anymore. We have, imagine, Arteta has signed 3 forwards. 3 forwards only while being at Arsenal. It's Jesus, it's Trossard, and you could argue it is Havertz, although he said Havertz is a midfielder, so you want to count him or not. Oh, and of course Marquinhos, and we all know where Marquinhos is at the moment. So definitely, there is something weird going on, because you cannot be in charge for 5 years, sack and just banish from the club the best striker, the Golden Boot winning striker, so easily and not replace him. You just cannot do that. You need to replace him. And he still hasn't done it. It's in Arsenal's DNA. For how long we waited till we properly tried to replace Patrick Vieira at Arsenal? For how long? Genuinely, for how long? We always had these issues. Key positions we never replace when they leave. Arsenal used to be notoriously well known for fantastic strikers. Genuinely. Ian Wright, Campbell, may him rest in peace, Anelka, Henry, Bergkamp, arguably Giroud as well, Van Persie, Aubameyang, technically Lacazette on certain level, although he never reached the heights he should have reached. You could argue when Alexis Sanchez played the wing/through 9. We always had incredible attackers who could have made something out of nothing. And at the moment, in last 5 years, I don't see a player in Arsenal's team who can make something out of nothing, take the game by the scruff of its neck when it's not going Arsenal's way, and single-handedly carry the whole team over the line. It should be the captain's job, but let's be real, Odegaard doesn't have it what it takes to do single-handedly. Because if he did, he would do it. On occasion, he has a banging long shot when we are losing and everyone goes nuts that Odegaard is the best thing since sliced bread. But that isn't enough. We need someone who can score consistently. Because we could have a stinking out game, just like we did, let's just say, against Fulham when we just did nothing pretty much. Or against Aston Villa, we looked like, well, shit, obviously. But then we had, let's go back like 8 years. We had Alexis Sanchez. Single-handedly, does everything, scores 3 goals, we have won the game, peace out suckers. That's it. Single-handedly carries the team over the line. At the moment, Arsenal don't have that. Because we have been so micromanaged in the way that we play the shoehorn type of football. Arteta is the micromanaging, has put every single player in a certain box that he cannot basically step out of. He has handcuffed their creativity in a way, because we don't see from Saka what we used to see, let's just say 2.5 years ago, where he just single-handedly went and did slaloms, glided past 3-4 players, took his man on and everything. Now he just passes back to Odegaard or Ben White 95% of the time. On rare occasion, he tries to take on opponent, but then he's triple team, he tries to cut inside, everyone knows it, he gets tackled. And that is one of the biggest things for me with Mikel Arteta. He's so micromanaging the players that is doing more harm than good many times. He needs to improve on that. But obviously, for me, you don't win anything this season. Get out of the club. Get sacked, please. You have to win at least Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup. Plus finish challenging Man City like we did last season. And do get semi-finals in Champions League. Minimum. Because 5 years, well, by the end of the season it's 5.5 years, is more than enough for him to prove him that he is him or he is not him. Because so far what he has done, he has rebuilt the team, united fans with the club and all that stuff. One happy family. Will they come and redo your, I don't know, repaint your ceiling when you need to do it? Fix your roof when it's leaking? No, they don't. It's just dumb, basically, at the end of the day. Which team holds one manager for 5 years at one of the biggest clubs in the world when they win nothing? Nobody does that. Why are we doing it? Arteta is not going to be another Wenger. Yes, he could be a good manager. Go somewhere, let's just say to Spain, to coach, I don't know, Sevilla, Cadiz or someone and do something there. But for the big times, when the going gets rough, every single time we have folded under the pressure. And that is something I cannot forgive, because it happens every single season at some point. Anyhow, on to today's news. Let's keep it going. The rant is over, I hope. Kind of got it out of my system. Basically, Mikel Merino. Despite Chelsea's interest, Arsenal are the team Mikel Merino would like to join the most, while Mikel Merino is Arteta's midfield priority. Real Sociedad are expecting a formal offer from the Premier League. Whole league is gonna give him an offer. What the hell is this? Premier League that will satisfy their demands. Well, he's on last year on his contract, so 20 to 25 million should do the trick, right? Knowing Arsenal, they will offer 15 million, I don't know, and a paella or something. More on Mikel Merino. There's a lot to talk. There's lots of on Mikel Merino, to be honest. Arsenal have sent their proposal to Mikel Merino and now are preparing an offer for Real Sociedad player. Although Merino is getting closer and closer to Arsenal, the agreement between the two clubs is still missing. Now, the thing is, it says getting closer and closer. However, the thing that's missing is the agreement between two clubs. To be honest, Merino, based on the first part of the sentence, hasn't agreed himself on the deal, on the terms, on the contract and everything, so calma. I would take him at Arsenal, but I won't lose my shit, basically, like when we signed Alexis Sanchez or something like that. I'm gonna be happy, but because we need a player, we need a position, we need a cover, but it's something that genuinely sets basically me into stratosphere of excitement. Let's just say that. Arsenal already have made an offer. We already talked about it. Calafiori. Well, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, Calafiori. 100% you will hear that at the Emirates when we play. Genuinely. 100% you will hear that at the Emirates. It just randomly at one day in the stream, in the spur of the moment, it came to me and I sang it, but I have genuinely never sang a song about a player in my life. Genuinely never. And I'm not gonna start to. Never. Riccardo Calafiori's transfer to Arsenal will reach the definitive white smoke in the next few hours. That was today, according to Tutto Mercato, 8 hours ago. No, 6 hours ago. Sorry, 6 hours ago. Yeah, Daily Calafiori. Genuinely. Daily Calafiori. Here we go. It said that it was gonna reach the agreement in the next few hours. It's been 6 hours. Where's the deal done? Hello? Vancouver, Canada, whatever, who it is. Arsenal. Where's the deal? Next few hours. Get the job done and move the hell on. FA decision unlocks Arsenal's path to finally complete the dream. It's been already said that Arsenal won't sign a massive player. Why they're linking us with them? Transfer news is Gunners have been linked with an interest in Newcastle striker this summer, but the Magpies boss had a strong stance on the situation. Oh, Dios mío. Where is it? Eddie Howe has taken a strong stance on the club selling the likes of Isak this summer. Speaking back in May, he said, I'm planning for them, Isak and Bruno Guimaraes, to be here. Now, all my planning is with them in the squad. We're looking to build a squad, a really successful team, and to do that, we don't want to sell our best players. Makes sense, let's be real. That's hugely important for us. It will knock us back some considerable distances because we would have to start again, obviously. So if that's the stance, if that stance is weakened, he would move on. Speaking last month, Isak outlined his feelings on a possible move away from St. James Park. I'm enjoying myself very, very well in Newcastle. I had my best season now in my career. That should not be underestimated. I love everything that really about the club, the fans, the city, blah blah blah. I actually have no thoughts of a move anyway. It's not something I'm speculating on within the team or the club. There has been no talk or drama around it. So basically, this title, basically from football.talks BS in this instance. That's generally clutching at straws to the maximum extent. Like generally, they are like hanging above a massive pit of lava and they're holding by one straw and hoping it doesn't break basically. Biggest waffle this transfer window I have read, not gonna lie. Even bigger than some like Chouameni to Arsenal and all stuff like that. This is off topic a bit, but I just decided to go with it. Manchester City won 70 million plus 20 million in bonuses to sell Julian Alvarez. He's been a bit uneasy with Pep that he doesn't have proper game time, but what did you expect playing behind Erling Haaland? But it is what it is at the end of the day. See what happens with him. He most likely will stay. Nobody can afford to pay 90 million for him, let's be real. Mikel Arteta on Euros. What has he said on Euros? Players involved later stages. Oh yeah, when will they join? Mikel Arteta on if players involved in the latter stage of Euro 24 will miss the start of the season. I don't think so. What? You don't know? What the hell? Let's see what condition they come back in. What do you mean? They're not gonna come fat from eating burgers only. All the message I've got from them, they're really excited to come back and have a great season again. I do not expect anything else. Well, hallelujah. When your mind is telling you to come back, then I think you need to follow your mind. To be honest, makes sense because for some people grind never stops. The big thing is some people sometimes need to find a balance between grinding and relaxation because you cannot grind consistently. You're gonna burn yourself out, you're gonna get injuries, and then it's not gonna be pretty. But they need some rest. They had a week as well before they started at the Euros. We'll manage them, but if they are willing, that means that they want, so let's do it. Might as well join now then. Ramsdale might have joined. He did nothing in the Euros, nothing the whole season, yet he gets a month's vacation. Like, for what? Could have easily played in the USA Tour. Charles Watts. Kappa Watts, in a way. Based on previous news, he talked about Ivan Toney a bit. In ideal world, Mikel Arteta would keep ASR. That's the last year he made it clear that he would not be sold. I think his stance would be the same this time around if it was just down to footballing decisions. Smith Rowe has a strong desire to be playing regular football. Who wouldn't? 24? Yeah, 24 years young still. 3 seasons ago, single-handedly had a season of his life, together with Saka, saved Arteta's job from being sacked. Single-handedly those two. He was unplayable, incredible ball carrier. Even Rio Ferdinand, Manchester United boy, praised him. You don't get that very often, by the way, from opposition pundits, so that means a lot. Arsenal would reluctantly let him leave should a good offer arrive. But at the moment, the offer has not arrived. It's certainly not the case that Arsenal will be forcing him out of the door. Basically, if a good offer comes, Arsenal will sell him. If it won't, Arsenal want to keep him. Issue is, Emil Smith-Rowe wants to play. And the thing is, the way Arsenal want to play under Mikel Arteta, well, no, how Arteta wants his team to play, unfortunately, there is no room for the type of player that is Emil Smith-Rowe. The way Arteta has evolved the team from 3 years ago when Emil Smith-Rowe was a key part into last 2 seasons when we are challenging and how we are playing, I don't see a place where Emil Smith-Rowe can play consistent minutes, regular first team football even. Not even speaking about that, by the way. So there might be a merit for him to get sold. I'm not gonna lie. Some painful news for today. If you are having a good day, sorry to spoil it, Arsenal fans. Arsenal confirmed Chidobe Martin not signing a new deal at the club and leaving as free AJ and Chido will decide his next club soon after visiting English and German clubs. Yeah, it is what it is, to be honest. And the fact that he is not re-signing, he's not staying, I would say solely, pretty much, is on Mikel Arteta. Because over the years he has shown how much he has, not in per se how much he cares about youth players in our system and everything, but how much he plays them. Because Arsenal last season have played about 400 to 500 minutes of youth players combined, while other teams played over 1,000, 2,000 minutes in youth players. And Arsenal, this transfer window before it began, let go 20 young players and one of them resigned. So that genuinely showed Chido Obi Martin that there is no system, and there's a big reason to doubt that he will actually play for Arsenal in the future for the number 9 spot. Genuinely. I generally blame this for Mikel Arteta and our youth system. Obviously, this transfer window, we are trying to revamp the youth system, new scouts, new all that stuff, new players and everything. But at the end of the day, the damage has already been done. Whatever comes out of Chido Obi Martin, obviously, is solely up to him and the club, how they nurture him wherever he goes, how they develop him and everything. However, this decision that he doesn't want to resign, for me, is solely on Mikel Arteta. Based on how he has integrated the youth players in our system over the 4.5 years he's been here. Genuinely, that's my stance on it. Yeah, exactly. He should have done more. He should have done more. But he didn't. He genuinely didn't. The same thing about the 20 players we just simply let go in July 1st or June 30th, whatever, which date it was. We easily could have sold each one for 2 million. Minimum. Easily. Not to mention Okonkwo could have gone for 5 to 10. Kozer Dewberry could have gone for as well, like 5 to 10, if not 15 even. Let's be real, we could have made proper money on those. To have pure profit, to have money to spend in this transfer window. But no, Arsenal said, you're done. See ya, we don't need the money. And now Arsenal can't sign players and everything. Arsenal are haggling. Just pathetic, man. Genuinely pathetic. Exactly, that is so damaging to the academy. Now, mind you, it looks like Arsenal are trying to rectify all that. They are changing the system, changing the management, scouts and everything. They're trying to revamp it at the moment, this summer specifically. But they should have done it before that, genuinely, because everything starts from youth and it then progresses upwards. But I guess Arteta wanted to make the first team proper one and then actually do the youth, by the looks of things at least. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, Arsenal are not re-signing Chido Obi Martin. He has said no. He has said, screw you, Arteta. You screwed everyone and now I'm gonna screw you, basically. Simply put as that, in my opinion. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else we can talk about today. Mikel Arteta fumes over unbelievable injury. I swear, if that is Tomiyasu, that will be just Peakums. Where is it? Yeah, it's Tomiyasu. Just, dude, we already knew that. Chelsea get an expected Gallagher incentive amid Arsenal's Merino transfer chase. Yeah, cool. After Chido Obi Martin, another Golden Eaglets eligible player linked with Man United departs Arsenal. What? Who else is there? Who else is there? Arsenal have confirmed a new intake of academy scholars with 11 promising teenagers signing scholarship forms. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Apart from Chido Obi Martin, Arsenal have been unable to convince another talented Golden Eagles player, Owen Asemota, to commit his future to the club. The England under-16 goalkeeper has decided to embark on a new chapter in his career after rejecting scholarship deal. Ay, Dios mío, man. Yeah. We are mudded, man. We genuinely are mudded. And which teams are interested? United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, Villa are among the Premier League clubs interested in signing Asamoah. So basically, Every single, pretty much more or less biggest team in Premier League wants to sign the guy. Arsenal don't want to sign the guy. And let's be real, why would he if Arsenal in this transfer window have already signed 3 goalkeepers? Raya, Setford and Nygaard, and 2 of those, Setford and Nygaard, are for under 20s and under 18 teams. So that means they're gonna be in front of this Asemota guy. So why would he actually re-sign? It actually makes a lot of sense in his mind, to be honest, in my opinion. But yeah, Arsenal lost Chidobe Martin, and now they're losing another young player. Hatui, man. Anyways, moving swiftly on for a few minutes still. Clubs are suing FIFA for over abuse of dominant positions. Yeah, I read that. That is, in my opinion, correct thing to do, to be honest. Too many games, especially the international ones. There are at least 25 to 30% of international games you genuinely can avoid and cancel because they mean nothing and generally would mean nothing. Rather just have, let's just say, a week off in every league, let them relax, maybe train, do everything, recover from injuries. Screw them going to national teams to play some random friendlies. Who wants to see, let's just say, England play against, I don't know, New Zealand in the friendly? Who wants to see Spain play against Iceland in friendlies? I don't know, USA play against whatever, Mongolia in friendlies? To get more injuries that screws over the clubs, then it's a long-term injury. So let's just say next summer is the Euros or the World Cup, and they can't even play there because the injury from the international duties is the long-term one. Just bin them. Bin at least 20 to 30% of the friendlies in general. Anything else? Arsenal contact 21-year-old Argentine midfielder about the transfer. What the? Which Argentinian we are linked to? I actually have no idea. This looks like Boca Juniors. Ezequiel Fernandez. Yeah, Boca Juniors, yeah. Arsenal has reportedly made contact with Boca Juniors regarding the potential transfer of Ezequiel Fernandez. This name sounds hella familiar for me, and I can't put my finger on why. Either it's Football Manager, either it's Career Mode, or I have seen him play somewhere and he has gotten a lot of praise. I cannot put my finger on what exactly at the moment. 21-year-old number 6 defensive midfielder, by the way, is currently representing Argentina in the Paris Olympics. Right, the youth play there. Has emerged as target for gunners who are keen to strengthen him. How much is he? How much is he? That I haven't seen him play. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you know how he plays, how good he is, let me know. But I have no idea how he plays. Genuinely, I have no idea. Porto are interested. Marseille are interested. Al Qadish from Saudi are interested in him. So then he has to be a proper player. Allegedly, obviously. 14 million. We can come up with that. Let's just pay 20. Most likely it will be like 15 with 5 in add-ons. Genuinely, he was at Atletico Tigres, then he moved upwards. Number 6. So how does his stats look? 5 games, 2 goals, 1 assist this season. He played Boca Juniors, Tigres, then he from Boca Juniors too. Yeah, for a young team. So why not go and sign him? See what happens. For once, I'm not against it because he seems like the type of player Arsenal actually could get and kind of mold into a proper player, especially if some of the big clubs in Europe are after him, especially teams like Porto, who are very well known for signing players like that and then signing for 15 million and then selling players like that for about 70 million. So it is what it is. But yeah, anything else? Anything else new for Arsenal around this world? Yeah, Chidobe Martin has not been named in Arsenal's new first-year scholars ahead of 24-25 season, albeit confirming his departure from the club. Pretty much done and dusted. Official Arsenal youngsters O'Neill and Zetsevic Luiz with John are among 11 players who get scholars. Timber, like, I look at the winners. So nothing else is happening at the moment. Nothing else is happening at the moment in the world of Arsenal. So those are the transfer rumors, my thoughts on them. Your thoughts on them. Thank you so much for interacting in the chat. Tomorrow, definitely, we're gonna be back to talk about more Arsenal. Hopefully, there will be some advancements in signing players, maybe new links, some bids that have been put in. Maybe Arsenal will have sold someone for a change for once. So it will be very interesting to see what's gonna happen. Premier League starts in less than a month, in 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, and Arsenal still have done nothing pretty much. Preseason games kick off in 2 days, have done nothing. So it's a very, very scary time, genuinely, legit. It's 5 weeks till window shuts down. It is closing, and we have done nothing. Think about it that way. We are halfway through the window, pretty much. No, we are halfway through the window at the moment, exactly. And we barely have signed Calafiori, and even that is not a big thing that to be boasting about. Arteta, kindly sell Marquinhos. You know you did. To be honest, we could have signed him for free. We decided to pay 3 extra million to keep football friends, good relationships with Sao Paulo, and now he's there and he's not even at Arsenal. I haven't seen him at all, to be honest. He went to Norwich at loan, 1 game did something, rest of the season did fuck all. Scored for Arsenal against Zurich, cried, rest of that did fuck all. Then went to Nantes on loan to Ligue 1, did fuck all, got recalled in January and got loaned down to Brazil to Fluminense. That's it. So basically, the gamble hasn't paid off. Bin him off. Bin him, sell him for 2-3 million, bin him off. We don't need him. We don't claim him. Nobody cares. But yeah, for today from me, that will be it. Thank you guys so much for chilling. Thank you so much for being here. You have been fantastic as always. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment if you're watching this as a podcast, as a rerun. Subscribe. Hit that bell. All that good stuff. Take care. Stay safe. And see you all tomorrow.